Welcome, everybody, to another episode of my podcast, Kojay's Corner, where I talk about anything and everything that's on my mind. You can look at the whole series, you know I do not lie. And one of the most important things I'm talking about is Palestine. And I have a very special guest on the channel. She is a content creator on Instagram, has been voicing up for Palestine in the most entertaining, sincere, natural ways possible. It's all real with her. She's amazing. I don't want to waste any time. Here is Sherean Ayesh. Welcome. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
A long time in the makings.
I know it's been a minute, but thank you. You have a lot of patience.
No. I mean, I think we all have to. Palestine isn't free. And that's the main concern, like in everything right now, which I want to dive into that. But you've been on Instagram. You're very successful on Instagram. I love your content. And I want to dive into that. But also, before we get into that, a little introduction to you, to my audience, people who are hopefully aware of what's going on in Palestine, but not. I welcome you to listen in on all these discussions and give people a chance to get to know you. So you're Palestinian American. Did you grow up here your whole life?
So yes, I'm Palestinian American. I was born here, but my story is a little different where I didn't know I was Palestinian until I went back home. My dad had taken me and my sister back in 20 like 2004, and we stayed there until late 2008. So while I was here in the States, I just didn't know anything. And it's because my mom had kind of disconnected herself from the community, and we were
Mm.
primarily with her. So, and she didn't talk about it. Her experience with it wasn't the best. So she had never kind of talked to us about it. And when my dad had come to say, like, hey, I want to, like take the girls and kind of let them get more educated and kind of just be in their roots of who they are, because we were quote unquote, like how people say here, getting lost like in American culture. Um, we really were, because going back was just, again, I've said it before and I keep saying it, it was the biggest culture shock, but like in the best way.
Dang. And you grew up in Palestine for a while,
I did,
right?
yeah. I grew up there. When I went back, it's funny, I didn't know any Arabic. So I primarily learned Arabic from my grandmother, God rest her soul, because my dad had us enrolled in a English, like a bilingual school that taught Arabic. But we didn't, I at least didn't learn Arabic from the school because they teach you like by the book. So I started there in fourth grade, but they entered me in basically first grade Arabic. And all of that to me was just so way too hard. So my grandma would teach us how to talk. Again, primarily me, because my sister kind of knew a little bit, but I didn't know anything. So she'd be talking to me and she would tell me like, okay, she'd be sitting on the couch and be like, "Kelebe," or she'd be like grabbing water and she'd be like, "Maya," so that I know how to communicate with her. And kids catch on fast because I think within like a couple of months there, I was talking to her normally.
Wow. Because Arabic, like as a revert, I've mastered Arabic as far as doing salah in Arabic. Everything else I don't really know too well, but while learning, it's just the sounds you're using your like throat, your face, your tongue, everything with more sounds than you do in English, I would say. And I think there's some languages
Yeah.
like that, but yeah, it's a very difficult thing. Like, what made it easier for you to get it down?
I was younger. I think that's the biggest thing. But
Mm,
trust me, even till this day, like my content is primarily, I shifted it to Arabic because my audience grew so much more when I started speaking Arabic. Like
mm.
the people that follow me are primarily Palestinian or from like Arab countries. Believe it or not, my English content isn't really successful. It's my Arabic
Oh wow.
content that is like way more successful. And it's because they really like my accent. They say that it's like an American Arabic accent,
Yeah.
and I never thought I had that until they till this day pointed out to me with certain things that I say that might be wrong or just like even off by a letter. They're very like they'll come in on me real quick and be like, that's not how you say it. This is how you say it. But they eat it up. Like they love it, literally. And I love that they love it. And it's fun doing it. And I also get to talk about Palestine in that way as well. So I like it. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like it because
Mhm.
it sounded very unique to me because I'm new to a lot of this, and even when I sent it to one of my homies in Qatar, he's like, "Whoa, that's an accent," but he followed you and loved you too. So that's pretty cool. Now, when you came to America, uh, when was that?
When
Or
I
came
came
back?
back to the States, it was 2008, and I was going into ninth grade, eighth grade,
Okay.
eighth grade. Yeah.
So I know you went into detail on that with the Olive Branch podcast, which I definitely check out. Everyone recommend everyone check out. I got a link for you in the description. But what was the biggest culture shocks coming back? Because you had two culture shocks, one going back there when you were young, and then back here again. Like that's like going to different world from different world, then going back to a world that's different after that one's got accustomed to you. That's a lot. What was the biggest
It's
challenges?
crazy. The differences in culture
Hmm.
is crazy. I remember I left in 4th grade and went to Palestine. And the first thing
Hmm.
I remember is that first off, I was in an all-girls school, and they keep it mixed with boys until I believe 6th grade. So my
Hmm.
first 2 years there, we had boys in our class, but like the biggest thing I noticed is that everyone's so accepting. Like, yes, is there like bullying? Yes, but it's nothing like it is in the States. Like, people are just way more, like, the new kid is almost like praised, if that makes sense. It's like, oh my God, there's somebody new and they're coming from the States. And like, they had all come from the States too. So it's
Oh,
like they want to know what's in, what's out, like, what state did you come from? Like, did you bring any like candy with you? Like, just like things like that are just so innocent and cute. And like, they didn't make me feel like an outcast because my biggest fear was I'm going to be rejected. I don't know anybody. How am I even going to fit in? Like, this place, it's so far away from home. Everything is just so far because St. Louis is where I'm from. St. Louis was home for the longest time. So this was just a new foreign place that I had no knowledge of. So it was so beautiful that they were so accepting, but I cannot say the same about coming back. I
yee,
came
what was
back,
that like?
that was horrendous. Listen, okay, I came back in 2008. I was in 8th grade, and I had mentioned like a little bit on the Olive podcast where I had two best friends, and one of them was white and one of them was black, and their names were Kensley and Ariana, and we were literally like the three musketeers. Like, anywhere you saw one of us, you saw the other two. And we were just so close. And I remember, like, I would think about them periodically throughout my time living back home, and I'm like, I wonder what they're doing. Like, I
Did you
wonder
get
if they
to
remember me.
contact and write them when you were in Palestine?
No,
Or was it just no communication at all?
no communication at all.
Oh, wow.
So, but I was like, I wonder if they're even going to be going to the same school. And subhanallah, like, crazy enough, when I went to my first day of middle school, I saw them there. Now, granted, I had come back and I was wearing the scarf at the time. Like, that's a whole other story within itself. Nobody forced me.
Mhm.
There was a contest at school where you could get some free scarves, and I really like getting free things, and it was fashion, so
Oh, like the
I wore
hijab,
it.
you mean?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
cool, cool. Yeah, yeah.
But I kept it on because, again, people do it. It's so much easier to do that there because everyone's doing it. So it never was like a issue to me where I had any desire to take it off, even if I didn't know why I was wearing it at the time. I just knew that, okay, it's the right thing to do. I want to, like, I was motivated because I was younger, and everybody else was doing it too, so it never bothered me. But coming back and
It's like
wearing
a
it, I quickly
hairstyle.
oh, in a sense, I guess it's
Yeah.
just now that I'm older, I understand why. It's to protect us women. It's to protect our beauty,
Mhm.
which in all honesty, we need really these days. But like, I came back and it stuck out to me so much because I was the only girl at the school that had worn the headscarf, and people were literally looking at me like I had two heads. They were like, what the hell? And again, this is back in 2008 where not a lot of young girls my age wore it. So immediately I felt the effect of like, oh my God, I'm different. Like I'm not accepted. People don't like me. Like I can already tell from the looks of their faces that like it's just a no-go. So I remember seeing them and literally running up to them and being like, "Oh my God, do you remember?" Because we all looked physically the same except that I wore the headscarf. And it was just that immediate rejection of like, "Girl, I know who you are, but like I don't like what I'm seeing is very foreign and I don't like it. Like I don't want to be associated with you."
Oh,
So,
dang, so they stayed away from you?
oh, 100%. My
Dang.
8th, yeah, and I used to not like talking about it, but I actually like embrace talking about anything now because I've always had a huge personality. Like I am so sorry about that noise. Um,
I
I've
don't hear
always had a
anything.
huge, oh, awesome. I've always had a huge personality. My phone went off. But and going back home, I kept it because I was so accepted. But then coming back, because I was so rejected, as I explained before, it's this fire that's lit and it literally is like poured on with a bunch of water and it goes out. So once me being this very outgoing, funny, like I've always had the personality of like, I'm the friend who wants to make you laugh, even if my day's like shit. Like I want to make sure that you're laughing because then like your laughing will make me forget I'm going through. So
Mm.
that fire was burnt out and I was back in the States thinking that I would come back and be super happy, but I was just in like a really bad depression where I had I was reflecting and thinking like, okay, why does this matter so much? Like why does the scarf or my hair like why does it matter? Like why is it that big of a deal to where like people don't want to be associated with me? People don't want to talk to me. I would show the girls in the school like pictures of me with my hair, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're not ugly. Like, why do you wear it? Like, you're not bald. Why?"
Wow.
Literally, and like it took such a toll on myself where I stayed wearing it throughout my 8th grade year, but then my freshman year in high school, I was conflicted and I was like, do I take it off? Do I keep it on? Like, I don't know if I can do another 4 years of school here, like feeling like this. Because when I tell you I did not have not one friend in school, I'm not exaggerating. Nobody. So my life there was
For, like,
really,
the whole
really
year? The whole school year?
the entire school year. Yes.
Wow.
And it just wasn't like me. Like my friends would see me outside of school and they're like, okay, because I would explain my struggles to them and they're like, dude, just talk to somebody. You have the best personality. They're going to look through the scarf. And I'm like, you don't get it. Like, I tried, but it's not like they don't even give me the chance or the opportunity to showcase like who I am as a person because the second they see me, they don't want anything to do with me. So it's not like I can even introduce myself or show them like, hey, if you like, if you just close your eyes and talk to me, you'll realize that we have more in common than we don't. But they wouldn't even like entertain that. So it was my freshman year of high school where it was the last day of school and I took off my headscarf and immediately everyone wanted to be my friend. And again, at the time,
Wow.
me being so young, I was like, this is the best feeling ever. Like it was great. But then like growing up and getting older, I'm like, damn, like that I wish like I go back and forth, everything happens for a reason, but like I
Mhm.
wish that I was more strong because now as an adult, like I'm 30, and I contemplate like, do I want to wear the headscarf? Do I not want to wear the headscarf? But I know that if I put it back on, I am not taking it off. So that's
Mm.
my thing right now. It's where like when I want to be really ready when I wear it because I don't there will be no reason for me to take it off again. Like I'm an adult. I have the confidence of I don't give a damn if you like me or not. I have enough friends. Like I don't people's opinions don't matter anymore because I've reached the like security of not needing validation from anybody.
Oh, mashallah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
That makes sense because things we do in school or when we're younger and we get that instant gratification or some celebratory thing of something we did or we compromised to or we exposed ourselves honestly to, and it wasn't a bullying response. That's very exhilarating, and you're like, oh, I belong now, right?
Well,
So
I think even till now, people have a natural desire of like, they want to be liked, they want to be
mhm.
accepted. I think that when you get to a point where, not even think, when you get to a point where you're like, listen, I'm going to be myself unapologetically. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not harming society. Um, I'm just showcasing the best of me, like as I am. And I don't care who likes that or who accepts it. Like I accept it. So whoever accepts it, like that's awesome. And whoever doesn't, they're not obligated to. People would be much happier rather than like chasing the idea of like, well, if I do this, then they'll like me. Or if I say this,
Right.
then they'll like me. Like I could give two shits if people like me or not.
Mm. So that, and here you kind of see this reflection of then and now. Now you strike me as a very confident, intelligent, charismatic, entertaining individual that's unapologetically yourself. Um, how'd that when did that switch happen? Just over time? Or just
It
looking back?
happened when it's so crazy. It happened when I had my son. I have a 7-year-old boy. He'll be 8 in February. His name is
Oh,
Jude.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, I already know, but yeah.
I feel still beautiful. It's okay.
Yeah, it always is.
Um,
Yeah.
I've always heard my friends, it's really funny actually. I'm at my cousin's house right now, and I remember before I had my son, when her kids were small, I'd be like, "Girl, your kids are so annoying. Like they're just so damn like if when I have a kid, like I'm gonna, like beat the shit out of like if they're doing that." And she's like, "Okay." She's like, "When you have your own, like you'll realize that you won't do that, or like you will be a different person when and if you have children." Because I also never wanted
Mm.
children, because my
Oh, wow.
childhood wasn't, yeah, my parents, like, I don't know, the same as a lot of other people. I got mommy and daddy issues, so I was like, I don't want to do that to another kid. Like I don't want to do that to my kid. So when I got pregnant with him, I remember there was no like typically when moms are pregnant, there's like this connection and this like, oh, I'm pregnant and I love, like everything that's happening. With me, it was just like, yeah, I'm pregnant. Like, yeah, it's a boy. Yeah, like I'm 34 weeks now. Yeah, I'm this, I'm that. But then the moment they laid him on my chest, I swear it sounds so cliche or like just like Hallmark like, but I feel like I was also reborn that day. Like, yeah, everything in
Wow.
me had changed in for the better. So he's the
Oh,
best
that's
thing that ever,
beautiful.
yeah. Like he makes everything that happened before him worth it. Like if I had to do like live my life the same exact way, like over and over and over again, just to have him, I would do it every single time.
Wow. I feel you. I used to think back because every now and then I get depressed and I hate my life. I'm like, oh, if I did this back then, I wouldn't be in this situation now. And I would beat myself up over so many things, even like romantic life. I was like, oh, that's the one that got away. I shouldn't have done this. And like if I go back and change something, I would. But my my niece came into my life and she's like my kid because had the pleasure to step in and help parent and totally raise her, which is totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Long story there. But we created this bond, and everyone in the family, even on all sides, were like, "Oh, you guys have this cute bond." It's like known, right? And it's really special. And then my perceptions on like wanting kids and relationships and stuff changed. And that thing I had with like, "Oh, I'm gonna go back and change this in my life," and I actually wouldn't because then that would change something and she wouldn't be here. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like this reflection of like, hey, everything's working out because this family love of your life is in your life going forward now. So what are you going to do going forward? So I feel that's might sound cliche, like you said, but
Mhm.
yeah, that is life changing. So alhamdulillah, that's beautiful. So then with you being unapologetically yourself, when inspired you to do the content you do solely only on Instagram? That's the only place you can find her, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the link below, follow her, support her. But when did you start doing content or discussing about Palestine? What sparked inspiration there?
So it was October 7th, 2023. And
Mm.
I was actually at a friend's wedding. She's American, she's Christian, and I remember getting a notification on my phone and everything like it had basically shown that they had broken through the barrier over the wall. And every other, I believe, like the majority of Palestinian Americans, I was shattered. Like my heart broke instantly. Like I was after like the retaliation of what they had done. And I remember I would just be on my couch and I'd be scrolling and I'd be like, I hate that everyone's just looking. Like I don't like I wish I could do something. I wish I could physically like just make an army myself and just go help them because these women are like I see myself holding my son through the lens of watching them. So it was really depressing and nauseating and just infuriating and so many emotions that I can't even tie all together. Like my son would fall asleep in my lap and I would go to take him to his bed and I'd be crying every night because I'm like, oh my God, like he's just sleeping, but somebody else is holding their kid and they're dead. So one of the doctors in Gaza had reached out to me through like a DM form. And this is back when my account was private. I had 200 followers that I knew in real life. You'd have to request a follow, and my account was just very private. And I remember and I never got requests before this. So I remember getting a request message from him and him saying, are you Palestinian? Like, are you Palestinian American? And I was like, yes. And he's like, well, I'm a doctor from Gaza and I want to know if you have any like connections anywhere you are where you could like get my story out because you speak English. And I was like, I don't know because I'm not really a people person and I've never done public speaking. And I was still unapologetically myself, but I was like, I'm not a content creator. Like I don't talk online. Like people are gonna like my friends and family are gonna be like, ew, what are you doing? And unfortunately, that's literally where my brain went. Like my brain was like, the people that I know are gonna be like, what are you like? Who are you trying to be, or what are you trying to like? You're not a content creator. Like you don't do this. Like what are you doing? And then I think I sat on it for a week and I was like, wait, why the fuck do I care? Like what even if I'm not successful, like why do I like what about it bothers me? Like if my friends or my family were to say like, ew, what are you doing? Like, is that going to be the like be all and just, I don't even know where I'm going with this in the sense of like, I speak so much about how like, you shouldn't care about what people think. And here I was caring about what people thought. So I just woke up one morning and I was like, okay, I'm going to make my account public and whatever happens, happens. And if people say things, then I don't give a damn. And I'm doing this strictly for my people and our cause. And I am genuinely okay with the idea of me speaking to myself in these videos, of it not getting any views, of nobody following me. Like I accept that. I'm okay with it. And that way there's no like expectation that like there's no bar that I have to reach. There's no letdown if like I don't get to a certain place that other people were at. And I think that's what still I still live by. Like I still believe that it's the success that I have like on Instagram. It's nice. It's I like that I'm able to relay the message of my people. I like that I'm able to make a difference. But I don't view it or look at it in the sense of sorry, my brain talking before me. I'm like stuttering. I don't look
No,
at it
it's
or
good.
view
I'm
it.
the same.
I don't look at it or view it in the sense of like, oh, you didn't get this many views, or this person didn't like your, or like I don't post to expect anything or any love back, if that makes sense. I post because it's the right thing to do. And if I can, I've also added my own like comedic way into things because I do believe that laughter is the medicine to a lot of the evil that's in this world. And I think that collectively, when we laugh together, it's a beautiful thing. So I try my best to like imply that. But sometimes people like it and sometimes people don't. And the internet is not afraid to tell you if they like you or not. And I'm happy that I'm at a point where I don't care if you do or if you don't. Like I'm still gonna do it, even if like I'm the only one liking and haha in my shit. Like it's you have to like get past the point of like I'm embarrassed. Embarrassed of who? Like why? Why does it matter?
This is a beautiful full circle because when you came to that one part when you came back to America in what 2008, and you took off
Mhm.
the scarf, and then there was this change. Now it feels like you've kind of not taken off anything, but put something on as far as your presence for Palestine
Yes.
against this Western culture that back then was a little bit more influential. It seems it's kind of like you're there again, but now unapologetically you, and even hitting the drum harder for the truth of Palestine and being Palestinian. That's actually quite remarkable. I think about it.
Thank you. It's like a whole 360 because it's the complete
Mm,
opposite of how I was when I came back. Literally the complete opposite because I was such a quiet student. I wouldn't speak unless spoken to. So I'm pretty sure if there's people who I went to high school with and they see my page now, they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, like she wouldn't even raise her hand." And now, but this is I've always been like this. Like my Palestinian
mm,
friends who I grew up with back home, they're like, we always knew that you would that you would do something like this. We always knew that you were very funny." So it's interesting to see the two different reactions from people who there's people who are like, "Oh my God, I would have never expected her to do that." And then the other people who are like, "You've always been this way." So it's also nice that I'm able to remain like true to who I am and not sorry, someone's knocking on my door. And not
let me know if I need to pause or something.
no, you don't.
Okay.
My cousin grabbed him real quick. She's like, "Get out of there." No,
Sorry, cousin.
I, I think it's if we're true to ourselves, people will like us, especially if we have nothing to
Mm,
hide and we're not advertising something that's false. Um, That's why a lot of the times when people will message me and I look at my DMs and they'll say like how authentic you are. Like I like how you say what's on your mind. Even sometimes when you mess up words and you mess it up, you call yourself out. Because I will. Like if I'm speaking the Arabic and I'm like, oh, I hope I said it right. Like I'll just casually say that because I think I might say it wrong. But there's no perfect way to do literally anything. So I think that on social media
mm,
specifically, there's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be someone that looks better than you, more successful. They present themselves better than you. Their delivery of maybe the same exact message is still better than you, but they're not you. So it's people really have to tune into their own uniqueness. Even if someone else is doing the same thing, it's like at the end of the day, you're not them and they're you. So you have to really outshine who you are. Because a lot of people
mm,
say the same message, but the person who says it, their complete self, like in being genuine authentically and just not comparing to other people, I think that's what people want. People want to see authenticity, and there's just a lot of people that don't showcase that.
no, I agree, and I don't know how to be anyone but myself. I'm too tired to be fake or anything, and that gets more prominent the older I get. And I think what you say is true because, like, I think realness is what people really want. There's a real push for fake and
Yeah.
lies, and with what's going on in regards to Palestine and Islamophobia, also because it's a huge mechanism being used by Western society to, you know, uh, spread more lies. It's just people generally, I believe, all are good and have the capability for good and doing good, and what's real, what's sincere speaks to that. I From like 2 years ago when the genocide started, the Nakba 2 started, and to now, I see as a newcomer to the activism for Palestine, I see a huge shift where the lies aren't really landing their marks and being sold and bought as well as they did like 10 years ago or 20 years ago, in fact. And the sincerity is on the side of the truth of the people who are the victims, the Muslims, and Islamophobia, I feel, is crumbling. Not as fast as I'd like to, but prejudice in general is still sticking around a while because people in charge in these Western societies that are fueling this illegal occupation are still in power. And but I see that they're weakening. So do you see that uh, that shift, because you've been Palestinian your whole life, of course. You've seen America and the West in the heights of ignorance to now, where there's plenty of awareness now. It's like people are finally being heard after like 70 plus years. Um, what's the big change you see from then to now? And shoot, we'll go from there after that. I have another question.
So I just before we did this entire morning, I was watching your interview with Resistance is Beautiful.
Hey.
And he said so many things that I'm like, oh my God, word, like that's so true. Like this is the best way to explain it. And the biggest difference was honestly October 7th. Um,
Mm,
it really, really made people look again and not stop looking. And when I say not stop looking, I mean before, when we would explain these things of how Israel is committing genocide against Palestinians, of how they are oppressing us, how they are occupying us, if people would hear it and just be like, oh, that's really sad. And then, like, some people still hear it till this day and their reaction is the same. But this time, like, they couldn't run away from it the same way they did before because it was just
mm,
consistently coming up on their timelines. And it affected people because it's if you're human and you have a soul, when you see these things, when you see a mother lose her child, especially if you're a mother yourself, it does something to you. When you're a father and you see a grown man get on screen and he is crying and he is filled with tears saying, I just lost my wife and all of my kids, it does something to you. When you see children who have now become orphaned and they're losing a limb, like it does something to you. You ask why, like what could possibly be the reason for so much pain and suffering. And then you dig deeper and you dig deeper and you get educated on it and you realize, okay, not only is this horrible because this terroristic state is oppressing and genociding these people, but my tax dollars are funding it. So like I play a big part in why these children no longer have parents, why these men no longer have spouses, why these women are widows. And it affected people enough to their core where again he had mentioned that we are now the minority in these protests, and it is
hmm.
so beautiful to see so much diversity. Like I remember my first time going to Washington D.C. and attending that gigantic protest. I went and met Moham there and a lot of other people who were doing content.
I saw that
And
picture where all you guys are
and
lined up.
yeah, and I remember I was just it took me a couple of times where we would be marching and like just walking and shouting, and I had to stop because I'm just like, dude, I want to cry so bad. Like that's what I would say, that I'm like, this is crazy because I remember just like he remembered, my grandma would take us to protest and there'd be like 15 people.
Mm,
We'd do like 2 laps at the park and we'd go home. And I remember when I was younger, I I knew people didn't like us, but I didn't know why. Like I genuinely didn't know why people were racist to Muslims or just brown people in general, or why we were looked at differently because before I my cousin's hosting a family
yeah, it
from
sounds loud.
Reza,
It
a
sounds like my
mother and a
family.
son. That's how we are. I'm sorry. So I'm like,
No, Sri Lankans are loud too. Trust me. Trust me.
awesome. Okay, well if you hear it, that's my I love her. It's Noha and her son was seen from Reza. But yeah,
Mm,
when we were younger and we'd have like those itty bitty crowds, it was expected. So going and seeing these large crowds, and I see white people, I see black people, I see Asian, like you see so much diversity. And you would see it in these people's faces. Like they weren't just going to walk, like they would be also chanting, like with their chests. Like when they would say free, free Palestine, you could see it in them. And it's just this feeling that till this day gives me goosebumps where there are people that are really good in this world who were like deceived for so long, and we were also deceived to believe that they didn't care. So when our eyes both opened, theirs in the sense of they have now been educated on what's actually happening, and us seeing that people actually do care when they have the information, and it's been kind of shoved down their throats. It's just it's a really specific feeling that I can't explain. It's so beautiful and just so bittersweet because I don't think we ever thought that we'd get here. And it's sad that it had to take that, and it's sad that it's still till this day taking hundreds of thousands of lives of Palestinians every day. But there's one thing is that, and I joke, it's like a little joke where I used to tell my patients who would come in to the dental office, like I'd be like, I'm from Palestine, and they'd be like, where? Like Pakistan. And now when I say Palestine, everybody, it's always it is the start of so many beautiful conversations that I've had with people.
Wow.
And yeah,
Oh no, that's cool. I thought there was more to that. Sorry.
no, I'm
um,
like,
I feel you with the whole crying thing because we're getting moved and emotional. Like a long time ago, for a while, when I was a Christian, when I would go to certain church services, I would get emotional and cry. I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful. This is the truth. I'm closer to God." And as so many things changed over the years, I haven't felt that way again until the very first Palestine protest I was at. The same feelings of this is right, this is true. I'm closer to God in doing this moment of doing what I feel with my whole being, intelligence, subconscious, everything is right. And like you said, I look around because you're like, okay, something bad is happening to people, and the people standing up like Native Americans, it's usually a bunch of Native Americans and friends with all the missing women going on here, which is horrible. Um, and then at the Palestine protests, I'm like, who is everybody? Everybody is everybody. Arabs, Asians, white, black, everything, all faiths, all types of walks of life, all age groups. It's literally people are against the genocide. And then the people who are for the genocide are clearly profiting off of it. And they flex false biblical rights or false holy this and that of God to fuel what they're doing. So, man, I guess what want to ask you is like, how how do you perceive the Western propaganda and the greatest heads behind all that pushing? Who are they? What we're up against that the most that we see?
a bunch of cowards who are scrambling in a room because money can no longer buy them what they want. And they don't know how to act because for so long they have been able to purchase the majority of the public's opinions, and they've been able to dictate that for so long, and they no longer can, no matter how much they try. Like they will try to shadow ban, they will try to suppress our voices, they will try to, I don't even know how much money. It's probably more than like millions and millions and billions of dollars that they probably poured into trying to change the narrative that, like Palestine is wrong and Israel is right. And they will continue to be unsuccessful because it's too late. Too many people know. Too many
Mm-hmm.
people, there's no going back from this point. They can no longer grab the narrative and turn it to their favor. You have people like Candace Owens, who I don't agree with everything she says, but I agree with a lot of what she's not just about Palestine. And I adore her.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those people that will tune in every day of the week, and I'm waiting in that audience to hear what she has to say because of how authentic and genuine she is.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that she did her public transition of a switch where she had this opinion based on the knowledge that she had, and
Mm.
she educated herself in front of us, and then changed her opinion and said, "This is why I was wrong, and this is what's actually happening." And she is now one of those key people. And I think people undermine how important her and Carl Tucker Carlson are because I
Mm.
don't watch him as much as I watch her, but a lot of people are like I see them getting a lot of hate, especially from like
Yeah.
Arabs and they're just like, we've been saying this too. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we have been, but our audiences that are more of a minority than their masses of audiences, um, just people trust what they're familiar with. They trust what they can relate to. And maybe it's because we are Muslims, maybe it's because we're Arabs, maybe it's because we, whatever reason it is, the audience that watches Candace or um, Tucker, they do it because they admire these people and they look up to them. And I think it is so beautiful that they have now caught on to the movement because they genuinely believe it, not because they're being fed anything. Because if they really wanted to, again, kudos to them, they could be really profiting off of this. Like they could be making millions and millions, but they're choosing not to because they have morals and standards and they're human beings with consciences and souls and empathy. So I think we should give credit where credit's due, and they themselves have changed the opinions and the mindset of like hundreds of thousands of people who are now more open to listening to people like me and you, because they had to hear it from the person they trust more first, so that they now feel like, oh, okay, like this person that I 110% trust has now given me the comfort of maybe looking at this person's profile or seeing what they have to say. Because before that, I needed the people need validation for everything these days. They need to make sure that what they're
Yeah.
doing is okay. And typically when people look up to other people, they want to hear what their opinion is about it. So if that opinion, like if they're that person's saying on something, they now feel like, okay, now I can like in before I was caught in the middle, but now I feel like I can do this confidently because somebody that I trust, that I know is a good person, that I've been listening to for so long, feels this way. Like that solidified it for me,
Mm. Yeah,
if
that's
that makes
awesome.
sense.
Because no, it does make sense. Because
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, those in power who've maintained this genocide and illegal occupation and ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people have been making a lot of money off of it, and spending a lot of money to change the truth, I feel, is obviously telling. It's like, um ladies and gentlemen, when we go into the specifics of what happens in Palestine, even daily, right, it comes down to the basic facts that a government is oppressing a people by law, and by law allowed to kill and ethnically cleanse and displace them. So any action that they do continues that goal. So we see all these other, like, I see the Zionist content creators from like Core Fitness or Naz or whatever, and a whole bunch of people that do reactions of their things, and I've seen some of you do one of those. It's like those social media influencers are like always trying to focus on something while avoiding the actual crimes. It's like cringy, especially that one Zionist lady who always has that smile. She's like, "Can you believe they have cars in Gaza?" You know, something like that. I forget her name,
Yeah.
but if you see her face, you know. Um, I don't know what their content is, if they're winning or losing or whatever, but they're getting crazy funding. So this huge push just to go against the truth, I feel, is telling. Like, how long could they last? And um ah do you ever have to have any like uh no one's harassed you on their side, right? Has anyone come up
Um,
to you in this time, not come up to you, but you've probably faced any like insane backlash on your channel, or I mean your content, sorry, from
yes.
like that side?
And yeah. And what I do is I block every single one of them. Anytime I get somebody that says something in either Hebrew or in English, and the like, if it sounds threatening, I I used to screenshot it and I'd post it to my story and be like, "Look at this idiot." But I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to entertain this. People are actually really scary and do really freaky things these days. So I block them immediately, and I just keep it pushing because I don't know how obsessed or how weird people can get with things. We live in a crazy world, but
Mm,
I mean, as far as their stuff goes, I do see the videos of like, can you believe they have this or that? Like, or like, they're not, look at so much for them dying. Looks like they're eating at this public place. And in my brain, I'm just like, God forbid they enjoy life under genocide. Like, God forbid they find a way to be happy despite everything, like all the odds being against them. And every outlet of happiness that they have being destroyed within a minute, like god forbid they get to like be happy. And naturally, like I see a lot of people who will comment underneath these videos in Arabic and they'll be like, why are you showing the public that you're happy? Like, why? Like, and it'll be
Mm.
Arabic people who are watching it, or like Palestinians or Saudis or anybody. They're like, why? Like, aren't you guys supposed to be like depressed and suffering and like dying? Like, why are you showing everyone that you're happy and that you're doing all these
Wow.
things? Like, everyone's gonna think that you're lying, and that pisses me off to my core, because it's like we we should know better than that, than any, because the enemy's already doing that. Like, people who are horrendous are already doing that. So for it to come from one of us is absolutely nauseating. I think that naturally, as beings, we don't like people to see us at our worst, and we like people to see us at our best. So I think that there's just that insecurity of want to show people that, like, hey, I'm not like always miserable, and I'm not always asking for donations, and I'm not always, like, starving. Like, I'm at, like, I was, I think one of the biggest messages that Palestinians in Gaza want to relay to the world, after speaking to so many of them, is that they were successful. They never needed anything from anybody. They built their lives and they worked hard the same exact way that we do, probably even harder, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were just moving into their first home. Um, my friend Noha, who is here right now with her 14-year-old boy, she has under 4 kids in Gaza. Okay, they had just
Wow.
purchased their first. They just purchased their first home before October 7th. They were only in there for like less than 9 months, I think. Her husband was working. They were bringing in income. They lived a very simple life, but they were happy. She was telling me, she's like, Sherean, $300 a month made us live a very simple but happy life. We could afford everything we wanted. A family of, like, she has the 5 kids, her and her, so 7. A family of 7 was
Mm.
living off the $300 a month, but they were very happy. And even though their life was simple, they they were just happy. They had each other, they had a home, they had, like, they were able to go out and do things, and like having the finer things in life didn't matter to them. So
Mm.
people don't understand that, like, the you may see a lot of people like asking for donations, or you're seeing them at their worst, but we don't come from struggle in the sense of, like, we are hardworking people. It is because they have been, like, intentionally reduced to rubble, where there is actually no job, there is no way of getting income. And unfortunately, there are still bad people in Gaza. Yes, not every single human being in Gaza is a good person. There are still bad people who do bad things. It doesn't reflect on the majority, like the generalization of everybody. But
Yeah.
there are people who, they're like, hypothetically, how do people get? A lot of people ask me in detailed questions, because I help Gaza Smile Maker in Gaza, and they're like, okay, well, how do you send him money, and how does he get the money? And I'm like, these are awesome questions, and y'all deserve to know. People will send it through the donation link. It goes into a specific account that I have opened just for him. It's a nonprofit. I will then use that to PayPal him. He will receive the funds on his end electronically, and he has to go through either like a kind of like how when you'd pick up Western Union, or when you would
Mm.
pick up like if you go to Walmart and you have your PayPal account and you say, like, hey, I want to cash this. It's the same exact mentality, but they are charging them, like, whoever is responsible for that is charging the people of Gaza fees up the ass that you could not imagine. Like, we pay a fee to send the money, they're paying triple that to pick up the money. So just to give it
Dang.
into context where you would understand, if I send $100, that person who's giving him the money is taking 70 of that and giving him 30. Just so
Dang.
y'all know how high of like
Mm.
a cut they're getting from this. So it's when they say they're struggling, when they say, hey, like, I'm really struggling and it's rough out here, they mean it. Like, they're just being screwed from every single outlet imaginable. And that's from the people that we can see with phones. So I let my mind wander when I think about the people who don't have phones who are struggling. It keeps me up at night, like, a lot.
Yeah. I get a lot of messages too, and overwhelming because I wish I could help everybody, but
Yeah,
I'm
me
at my
too, but
means
I
too.
can't.
It's
No,
incredible,
that's
incredibly
another
hard.
thing where, sorry, I hate to cut you off, but like, I have a lot of
No, no, you're fine.
I have families who will say, like, Shireen, please, like, you're inti minno fina, which means like you are from us. Like, why aren't you helping me individually? And I say this every single time. Listen, I'm a single mom. I work my 8 to 3. I will donate where and when I can. The reason I have the account open for that as a Smile Maker is for two specific things. I cannot individually fund a family myself. I don't have the time to make the content for it. I also don't have the capability of telling them we didn't raise this because I would want to fund it myself. Therefore, like I would put myself in a financial crisis, and you cannot take care of people if you don't take care of yourself first. Like I can't expect to
Yeah.
financially assist people if I myself can't pay my mortgage or I myself can't pay my car payment. So it's to be realistic and smart about things. So with Reza Smile Maker, he has over 700,000 followers on Instagram. This man not only helps like camps of people around him, but he does distributions in bulk. So I can sleep good at
Nice.
night knowing that, yeah, I mean, I do what is required of me, which is to send the donations directly to him. But I can't do anything more than that. Like when I can donate, I will. But at the same time, like it's rough out here too. And just because people are making money doesn't mean that everybody has the means of financially um, taking care of an entire family there because it does get expensive. So my best advice to people, because it can get very depressing when you see people, you can get bombarded with comments of like, can you please help me? Can you please do this? I always also encourage the people in Gaza, go somewhere where there is a in bulk distribution. You will have so much more success there. You in the
Mm.
sense of like being in a community where you get things distributed to you, it's especially if you're out here and you're struggling, like there's no pride in it either. Like no one's looking down on you in the sense of like, oh, this person has to, like, you guys are going through genocide and more than 80% of the infrastructure has been demolished. So no one's looking at anybody in the sense of like you're lazy or you're incapable or you're less of a man because you can't provide for your family. That also breaks my heart because I know that they deal with that daily battle too. um so it's a lot. It's a lot.
I want to put that link in the description of this video when we're done. So I'll ask you later, or if you remember, remind me if I forget.
No
Um,
problem.
yeah, because it's tough even here. Because unlike greatest ally, uh, to where I was just going over this
The
information
free
later
healthcare, free
this week.
schooling, they get
Yeah.
supplement checks. Our
Hmm.
government funds those mothers until their chillins are 18 genocidal
I was
freaks.
about to say,
They
I
get a
just found
payment
out they
into
get an
their,
allowance, $300 per kid a month or
and
something
they
like
can
that.
use it anywhere, by the way. Um, we fund their housing. We fund for them to build illegal settlements, to literally go into Palestinians' homes any time of the day or night they want to, kick them out and decide, hey, I live here now. Like, Chosey gave me the best example where he said, whenever I face someone who is asking me about the resistance, Hamas, we're not allowed to say that. But like whenever people talk to me about it, I say, okay, I say, listen, set that aside. If somebody came to your home and they raped your children, killed your wife, and said, oh, by the way, like, I get the lower floor. Like, are you going to be like, sure, yeah, of course you get the lower floor? Or are you going to say, like, you're more likely than not, any normal human being that would be in that experience, as horrible as it sounds, I'm killing you. Like I am going to seek vengeance against you because you took everything that was worth living for me other than my faith. And that is what the Ghazans are holding on to right now, is pure faith. Because if they were faithless, let me tell you, if Muslims had no faith, we dominate every other religion out there. Like there's 2 billion of us. Do you think that if we were that damn radical, y'all wouldn't be underneath fire right now? But we
Hmm.
have a conscience. We don't just kill. We believe that if I kill one person, it's as if I've killed humanity itself.
And
There's
if you
no way
save
in
one
hell.
person, you saved all humanity.
Exactly. There's no way that I would ever use religion, especially my religion as Islam, in a way that justifies anybody being killed. The only way that I would ever be in that situation is if somebody was really trying to kill me or my kid. Other than that, like even if someone's harassing me, my first thought isn't to go up and shoot them. My first thought is to like, who can I call that will get this person away from me so I can be protected? But
Hmm.
they do not think in that sense. They're just they push down the radical Islam and all of these people who want to hurt you in the Middle East, and Israel's just this itty bitty peanut of a place. It's like, no, these people are literal. genocidal freaks. They are monsters. They are psychopaths who want to deliberately kill men, women, and children just for the hell of it because they believe that they can. And you don't expect people to like retaliate against that. And even the way that that Muslims are retaliating against that, even the way that resistance is retaliating against that, is in a much better way than the West would take it. Because the West would, if you
Hmm.
tell, like I said, going back to that example, anybody who the natural response would be, no, I'm going to defend myself. Obviously, they're not going to live here. Like, I would kill them. And then Chosi was like, congratulations, you're Hamas. Like, if your response is like, no, like if your response is anything other than like, yes, of course you're more than welcome to stay here after raping my children and killing my wife, then yeah, you're Hamas. So like, let that sink in the sense of these aren't just terrorists who decided one day like, let's just go to the Jewish community and fuck them up. Like, we're not mentally in like unstable the way that they are. That's the way that they think. They literally have illegal settlers, and the thing is, they do their shit on video. They will literally record themselves acting a fool, going up to people's farmland,
Hmm.
killing sheep with bricks. Like, we don't wake up one day and say like, let me just go paragliding in there and kill them. They woke up that day and did that because we are getting to a point where people were literally like, they imagine the way that they weren't talking about us before, but everything that you're seeing now was going on but in slow motion. We needed to wake up the world so that people could see that like, we are being oppressed, we are being occupied, we are being slaughtered, we are being jailed illegally, we are being held without any kind of a conviction, our children are being held without conviction, our children are being raped and sexually assaulted in these jails. And if this is what it takes, if we have to do a public stunt and take hostages, again, that is not the first outlet that we tried. My nail fell. But that
Oh,
is
I
not
didn't
the
notice.
first. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my God. That is not the first thing that that's not the first outlet that we did to try to gain awareness for this. But we've protested peacefully. We have tried to bring public awareness in the sense of having like political meetings with like highly elected officials in the US, but nobody gave a damn. Like, nobody batted an eye. Nobody cared that we were losing more and more land. Nobody cared that we were suffering and our children were dying. So hostages had to be taken. Those hostages were treated with respect and dignity. I don't give a damn what anybody says. There is video evidence for that. You have these hostages literally
Hmm.
hugging and praising these resistance fighters. There is
Also, the resistance
also,
fighters did a prayer when they were leaving, and that video got taken down. I remember
I
that.
don't
I
know
saved
any
this video.
other, like, I don't know any other terrorist
Who does that?
organization that would kidnap people and send them home with goodie bags and braided hair. Like, sign me up. I
In
want to
good
be
health.
kidnapped. Like, literally, like, who? And meanwhile, Palestinian prisoners are exiting these dungeon chambers with broken bones, literally
Missing eyes.
starving to the bone, not because they're in a genocide underground with limited access to food. No, these people have all the food in the damn world. They get all of our tax dollars to provide whatever they need to,
Hmm.
but because they are deliberately starving these men. I went back home in May and I talked to so many young men about their experiences because I want to say over 70% of the men there from like of the boys and men there ages 15 all the way up to 45 had one or two experiences of going to the jail system there. And more likely than not, the people who were convicted of something were convicted of throwing rocks. The other people were just taken literally for
Hmm.
no reason and held until they were released. And the, we could go on and on about this and how the experiences were, but it's just, this isn't normal. This isn't right. Okay, well, there's other stuff going on in the world, and like in the Congo or in Sudan, or, and yes, there are, and those things are absolutely fucking horrific, and there's no justification for it. The reason the Palestinian issue is brought and shoved down your throat as an American taxpayer is because we fund it. Our tax
Hmm.
dollars fund it. If you don't want to care about killing Palestinians, remember what you have to deal with at home and how you can't afford health care and you can't afford an emergency and you're barely making your mortgage payment and you're barely able to afford groceries and you can't give your kids the life that you want to give them because you don't make enough money. You can't even have kids, some of you. So you have to go through IVF and pay like 30,000 grand that again you cannot afford. We are in debt. Like, we can't buy homes. We can't even own any kind of land in our name. And it is strictly, solely because we are sending millions and billions of our tax dollars to a genocidal state that, by the way, thinks of Americans, Christians, Muslims, anybody who is not Jewish as pure garbage that is going to hell. And if you do not believe me, go get you a Talmud and read it and look at
Mm-hmm.
what they think of us. That
Mm-hmm.
that's my biggest advice. Please go read a Talmud, and it will change you and open your eyes
And
to what they actually are.
which is what Israeli law is built off of, according to Netanyahu himself. So there's so many things that's telling. I'm like, how I don't see this thing lasting. Like the American people are not going to buy it. Even when we brought up Tucker Carlson, he's at some
Mm-hmm.
events where people are asking other people, Ben Shapiro and Ted Cruz, was he there? No, it's the other guy. I don't know, but the people at the who go to those events are starting asking them the hard questions about Palestine and why are our funds going to another foreign entity instead of back home here. And I'm like, whoa, I'm seeing change, but it's not fast enough. And I also blame people, or I don't, okay, I don't want to say it like that, but I feel guilty of being who I am, of coming to realization of this so late in life. I wish I found out sooner. And looking back, I could have, but I did not care. I wasn't, it wasn't like important enough to care and or to look into it. And I feel that's testament to all the distractions that all these lobbies, these media outlets, that includes news media. News media makes commercial revenue. I don't call it news. It's just propaganda, or it's just entertainment for that matter. Um, how long could that infrastructure last, do you think, with everything, with the truth being out in the open?
Not long. Look at the answers that they give people. And by the way, give yourself a pat on the back because you did come to realization and you're using your platforms, the platforms that you do have, to bring awareness. And that is a big deal. So I would focus
Thank
more
you.
on
I'm
that
trying.
than like, oh, no, for real. It's a beautiful thing. And it's about, once you do have the knowledge, it's about what you do with it. So it's
Hmm.
wonderful. And I applaud you for that. But I will say, I don't think it's long. I think that just look at the answers that they give to people who do ask those questions. It's immediate panic, and it's almost like they pause to make it look like they're thinking, but they are actually panicking because they'll be like, Israel is our greatest ally. They are facing these horrible, it is robotic and it is comical. And it's gotten to the point where people watch it or they listen or they hear these responses and they're like, okay, wait, why do we have to pay for that? Like, why are we like, what do you give us? What does Israel provide to America? Like, why are we so heavily invested on providing you security when we ourselves don't have that security? Like, you don't give us that security. Like, you're not giving us anything. So why the hell am I giving you my tax dollars? I'm cutting you. Each American household pays roughly $12,000 each to Israel every single year. What could you do right now if you had an extra $12,000? I'm telling you, we could do a lot. Ask any American family. If I were to cut you a check of $12,000 for the last 75 years, however old you are, whatever, what could you do with that rather than sending it every single year to Israel? You could do a lot. You could probably afford a home. You could probably afford a car. You could probably live very comfortably. You could provide your children with the schooling that you want to provide them for. You could probably do everything that you want to do but cannot do because our government believes that we should send them our dreams and our, because it's not just our tax dollars, it's our dreams, it's our
Hmm.
aspirations, it's our futures, it's our stability, it's our security.
It's the
We
American dream. We're
they
costing.
literally, they are sending them the American dream so that you can have the American like back burner. Like you, so what if you can't afford healthcare? So what if you are a slave to the system until you're pretty much dead? I just like, it's crazy. I had a coworker who, I kid you not, I'm like flipping all over the place. In October of this year, Angie Lamb was a coworker that I had who was 52. This woman was close to retiring, okay? She lived the majority of her life in debt. She was somebody who lived paycheck to paycheck. She lived alone. She had one kid who was already married. She had a dog that had died, like, I think 3 months before that. And this woman died on the job. We watched this woman die and be replaced within 2 weeks. Okay. These
Wow.
corporations don't give a damn about you. This country doesn't give a shit about you. This woman's aunt had to use the money that our company gave her aunt in regards to her niece being deceased to pay off the rest of her rent for that year for her apartment complex. Do you think they care? They
Damn.
don't. They do not care. You will be. She's been. By the way, she got replaced within 2 weeks, and I'm here like. And the thing is, we are so conditioned to believe that this is normal that people keep going. Like, people don't stop to, like, everyone around us. I talk to everybody every day at work and I'm like, are you okay? Like, how are you doing today? Or I'll randomly just remember her and I'm like, I really miss Angie. And people are like, yeah, me too. And you keep, and it's not because the people I work with are bad people, but it's because we are conditioned to believe that this is normal.
Mm.
Like, at least close the office for a week or two. Like, let the people that worked with her, because our second home is our job, but like, you have a family member who, that's what it basically feels like. Your work team becomes your family. They die and it's like, okay, yeah, they're just replaced. Like that, we
Mm.
have been like, for real, this country has been so conditioned to put on to people that, like, horrible things happen, but this is just life and you have to keep it pushing. You have to keep the companies going. You can't stop to mourn. You can't stop to feel, because if you stop to feel, then it ruins everything. And this is just the root to everything, where people stop to feel after October 7th. But for the first time in history, they stopped to feel for Palestinians instead of Zionists. And this is breaking history because it's never happened before. We've never
Mm.
gotten the empathy that is very well deserved for victims of occupation, of some of the most horrendous things that will haunt generations for the next few decades, honestly. Like, do you think that after everything in Gaza is set in stone, where the bombing actually does stop and life is able to be rebuilt, do you think that that's just it? Like, that, like, oh, yes, like, now we won? No. Do you know the chemicals that they are taking? Like, the generations to come are going to be scarred and fucked up, quite honestly, for a
Yeah.
very long, 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 long time. Like, the age expectancy now in Gaza is 40. Do you know how young that is? I'm 30.
I'm
Okay, that it's
45.
like, it's like, yeah,
That's
you would have been,
crazy.
like, I hate to say it like this, but you
No,
don't,
yeah.
people don't aren't accept, like, it's, and we are responsible for that with our tax dollars. Like, people really, really need to take a second to pause and, like, understand the weight of the situation and why you should care and why it's important, and how it's not just like, it's not just a bad thing happening. It's an evil thing that's happening in your name. These Zionists are using your name and your money to torture and slaughter and make these people's lives a living hell, like, make their lives no more. So, like, if you can live with that at night, knowing that in specific detail, then I also believe that you have no soul. Like, you are somebody who is just way past being capable of having, like, a human conscience.
Yeah. We don't say that lightly, of like, because it's like it doesn't take being Muslim or Palestinian or Arab to stand up for what's going on, for Palestinian liberation and speaking out against the genocide. Um, uh, it's literally a humanitarian crisis. These are human beings being slaughtered by a government that controls them, and it's not complicated. I think it gets complicated when people justify the people in power that's oppressing the people. And I think that's what a lot of people like to shy away from, ignore, avoid, because there's no opinion. There's no one, it's right or wrong. One side isn't wrong, one side is the victims, they're in the right. It's
Yeah.
very, very simple. And it's crazy because there's so many uh like I see here still sometimes not as much, but they have a right to the land or it's their inheritance and all that. and
Who,
I
the
was doing
Zionists?
Zionist, yeah, because I saw a video of like Ben Shapiro being it was a Stitch video, right? Someone put him
Yeah.
in his place right after. But the fact that he goes on these podiums and or makes these documentary like History Channel high production little content saying, okay, this is when the Jews are here, and this is when this group was here, and da da da. Da. But he still outs himself because when he has missing information saying the Philistines were the enemies of the Jews the whole time. So that's why that name came from. But he totally ignores the fact that the Canaanites and the old Hebrews or the old Palestinians were there way before anyone came there. Like that,
Yeah.
all this missing information just kind of outs them themselves, and it's ridiculous. And your content's amazing, just tearing this stuff apart and providing that entertainment. It's just, I love it. It's just crazy how that's still out there. Like, what are some of the ones that irk you the most? Like, the land was promised to us, and like, which ones do you still get
Birthright for
or
sure.
bother you?
Birthright
Birthright.
for sure bothers me more than anything because it's like these are people who, and I just made a video about this yesterday where it's like, my name's Emily, I'm from New York, or like my name's Brad and I'm from
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. And like we're going on birthright, we're going on birthright, we're going on birthright. And I'm just like, okay, even the Palestinians that are birthed in Palestine are not allowed to drive on a specific road or walk in a certain area out of risk of literally being shot and dying. But you have a birthright? Like, um, it quite literally like bothers me to my core. It boils my blood. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. There's no understanding from it in the sense of they just want people to go. That's why they make it such a like that's why Israel is just this wonderful place to go to, and those experiences change people, and it's the land is beautiful. It's my ancestors' land. I know that the land is beautiful. I know that the experiences are absolutely breathtaking and they will be engraved in you forever. But they're not yours to have and keep us away from. The thing is that again, we're going back in saying Muslims and Christians lived side by side till this day. Again, I was just back home in May and I went to Beit Sahur and I saw like Muslims and Christians are heavily active with each other and they respect each other and they love each other. There's no issue there. And we've lived side by side with Jews and still do. But there it's just you not only want to come to my home, break into it, take it, steal everything that was like, steal my entire past and my future, but you want to steal like my experiences too. Like even the ones that I've lived and I've loved, like you want to take like you don't want me to it's as if you want to erase me like I never existed. They
Mm.
steal our food, they steal our music, they steal our quite like our fashions, like they steal every single thing that we have and they put their little dumbass twist to it, without even hiding the fact that they stole it in the first place. And it like talking about it now, it just really, really, really makes me mad because it's like we everything we do we put our hearts into and we are very invested and very like we take so much pride in who we are as Palestinians, and you come in and you want to erase it and make it look as if like your ancestors for centuries put in the work that it took to build this name for us, to give us the pride that we so heavily take into. Like you want to come and erase that and take it just because you believe that you're entitled to. It's literally like I don't there's no other way of explaining it other than somebody coming in and it's like you've spent your entire livelihood to get to where you are and somebody taking it within a second and saying like I deserve it, you don't. And by the way, you deserve to die too. Like it doesn't make sense. It's crazy, and the fact that people just don't either like I don't know, I don't understand people who just look at it and feel nothing. I've
Yeah.
lost a lot of people that I no longer talk to who can literally go to hell, quite literally, that I will never refer to as a friend again, who refuse to look at it or acknowledge it for what it is.
Yeah, I've had to say goodbye to some friends and some people in close circles because I was like, I can't recognize you. This is how can you just look away from like a school shooting and then, to protect the shooter? That's what it comes down to, what it feels like for me. And looking away, it's like allowing the killing to go on. It's like still a vote in confidence for those in power who are oppressing the Palestinians and making money off of it. It's the
Looking
most
away,
violent thing I've seen, looking away on purpose.
looking away and purposely turning your cheek is equivalent in my eyes as actually shooting that person. Like what?
Mm,
And because if I'm out in public and I see somebody beating the hell out of someone and I just walk past it, like I should have just threw a punch too. Because me walking past and not doing anything, more likely than not, would make the person who's getting the beating like say like, damn, you should have just punched me. Because you walking and not even acknowledging the fact that this person's beating my ass is worse than the person who's beating my ass. Like this person's a piece
hmm
of shit, but you're even more of a piece of shit because you have like you can stop it. You can bring awareness to it if you wanted to, but you just looked at it and decided like, not worth it. Like
Ugh.
why? Why are we not worth it? Like why is it not worth it to you? Especially when your tax dollars fund it. Like that's you have a you play a part in it. We all play a part in it whether we like it or not. If you pay taxes in this country, you play a role in this conflict that they like to call. So if you don't get to not have an opinion, you don't get to say I'm just not into politics. You don't get to say I don't know enough. Like you those are all just bullshit excuses for people who don't want to face the fact that like it's going to be uncomfortable and you're going to have to relearn a new process of thinking because you've been taught so differently for so long, but you like this country is very catered to and people are very catered to and they're set in their ways and they don't want to change. like
Mm.
Like we're talking to the same people who can get like milk delivered to their door by the touch of two buttons on their phone, like through DoorDash. Like people don't, they our government and Israel rely on you being stupid and ignorant and lazy. They love that shit. They eat it up. They love the fact that you don't ask questions. They love the fact that you just stay at home and say, I don't know enough. Like they literally, that is what keeps them in power is your like ignorance and willingness to turn your cheek to the side and say it's just too overwhelming or it's too much. The biggest threat is when people come in the masses and say like, you know what, no, this isn't right, like, and I don't want to pay for, like, this isn't going to be done in my name. They rely on the general public being stupid. Yes, they think that all of you are stupid and they love it, and they were like, to keep them in power you need to remain stupid and silent. So unless, like, if that doesn't bother you, and I'm not even sorry about it either, like I'm sorry that they think that way about us, but I'm not sorry that you continue to allow them to think that way about us. Like if that those statements bother you more than them actually thinking that you're stupid, then like you have bigger issues.
Yeah. Hiding behind faith doesn't help too because faith has been super weaponized as a shield and a weapon, like
Ooh, you know.
Islamophobia. Dang. So when I started protesting and speaking up for Palestine, I saw certain sides of people I didn't expect was there before or even thought would be there before. Because I thought like, oh, it almost felt like, hey, did you find out? I found out about this thing. Check it out. What happened? I thought other people like, oh, dang, that's messed up. But it was like this numb effect for some of them or many of them. And they already had preconceived notions like, well, you're talking about the terrorists now. And then when I took Shahada and became Muslim, I saw that same thing again with such ignorance and Islamophobia towards Muslims. Like I was like, whoa, whoa! I was just trying to study and find out what's up with these people. I want to know more about Islam from a Muslim than someone on like Western media saying why Islam is bad and they're acclaimed good Christian. So when I go to the source and find out, oh, this is what it's about, I've been finding it easier to see who's lying to me, essentially. And I'm kind of tripped out on how that's still selling on some people, and how uh, Islamophobia and pro-Zionist narratives are so strong, and they're trying to maintain that strength that's dwindling right now. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm going in circles again with this. It's just so crazy, and it's so telling now. I don't
I'll
see
tell
how
you, I
people.
mean,
Yeah, tell me, speak.
so it's easy to sell a narrative that's been so far pushed down our throats, and it's been like almost so. I mean, who created ISIS? Israel. Who
Mm-hmm.
did 9/11? Israel. Who
Mm-hmm.
did all of the like? Yes, I will say every single bad thing that's happened. Israel's been behind it.
Even
And
ICE.
then when yes, and then when Israel comes out and says like Muslims bad, people are like, oh my god, like they're. I cannot get over this broken nail. People
I only noticed it when you pointed out.
every time I see it, I'm like, ew. But it like makes my mind go blank. That's it. Um,
Israel's in charge of everything. That's
yes,
where we're at.
they are the reason behind. It's so petty, but I had to point it out. They're the reason behind every bad thing that's happened. So then when they come out and they say, yeah, those horrible people that are like hurting us, they're coming for you. Like they're gonna come and get you. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's I feel like Americans like to play like the big bad wolf when in reality they're like the three little piggies. Like we like to put up this big face
Oh,
of like we're so tough, like we're so like
oh, I see
you
what you
can't get
mean.
when in reality it's like the second something scares America, they're like, "Oh my god, like like did you see the way that they were that Americans were reacting when Iran was retaliating against Israel and they were like, by the way, America, like don't like fuck around and find out. And you had so many people coming out
Mm,
and saying like, we have nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with us. When and it's just the fear that like Americans have because our government has installed into us like if it
mm,
doesn't look familiar, if you don't understand it, if it is very foreign, then you should be very afraid. Like you don't question it, just be afraid. Like this is something that like they've made people comfortable with the idea that if this like if someone doesn't look like me or talk like me or think like me, they are the enemy. And in reality, you're gonna keep coming across people in life who don't think like you, they don't share your same religion, they don't share your same ethnic background. You might think that pineapple goes on pizza and they might think that it tastes like shit, and you can still respect each other. Like you don't
mm,
have to like you don't have to have the same exact thing when it like diversity is what makes this planet beautiful. Like us having
mm,
diverse backgrounds, us having different ethnicities, religions, and still being able to agree to disagree is what makes humanity beautiful. But they want to convince the public, like, no, like, you need to stick with what is familiar. Don't ever seek out, like, anything that is not familiar because the moment you do, it is going to be like horrible for you. Like you are going to die, get hurt. Um, you're going to have horrible experiences. Why do you think? Talk to any American that's traveled outside of the country and what their
mm.
experience was before and after. I've spoken to so many people who were like, I was so afraid to go to Mexico. I was so afraid to go to Palestine or Turkey or to China or to Korea or like South Korea or like
Mhm.
anywhere. And the moment that I went and I saw how freeing it was, you know, because we're also home of the free and the brave and all that shit. Like, so when you go
Yeah.
somewhere else, you're
Where
expecting to
there's
go
also
somewhere,
freedom.
well, where there's actual freedom.
Mhm.
Yes. Even with me,
Good
like I
point.
will say, like, we no, we're not free here. You're like, that's why when people go to other countries and they're like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to be free. Like, we're not really free. Like, we don't, like, these when we travel to other countries and we see how they have paid maternity leave and we see how they have universal health care and we see how they
Mhm.
have and they're not as economically successful and they're not as developed as we are and they don't have allies like we do. We have this big ally that we send billions of our dollars to, if not trillions. They don't got that, but yet they have more rights and more financial services and more opportunity than me. I live in the home of, like, I live in the greatest place on the planet, and then it hits them. Um, America's not all that great. And people come here because they want to build a future to leave this place. It's easy to make money here, because economically, America, like, our government has made it to where every other country, like the way that they've made Sudan or Palestine or Jordan or Egypt, like, they've made it hard for people to be able to make an income. A lot of immigrants that come to this country, they're not coming here because it's great. They're coming here because it's great to make money to go back home. Our government and our military in Israel has made it to where there's no, like fluid income coming in. It is very hard for Arab men, specifically who are in Jordan, Egypt, Palestine, um, uh, Yemen, or Syria. Like, it is very hard for those men to find a living wage job without having to leave that country. There are a lot of men who immigrate solely to America, not because this place is great and they want to steal your job and they're coming from a place that they hate. We want nothing more than to go back home. But our government and our military has made it so difficult for normal average people to find jobs that, again, your ass doesn't want to work. So they will come here, they will make a living, they will send money back home, and then they will eventually go back home. If our government and military could butt the fuck out of every other country and leave them and let them be without trying to, de-radicalize them, then, like, people wouldn't want to come here. I'm telling you right now, I can't wait until the day that I can leave America and just be able to financially support myself anywhere else. Of course, in my heart, I would love to go to Palestine, but, like, if I can't even go there, like, in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't care if I have to stay in Jordan until then. But, like, I don't want to be here. I don't like being here. It's not what I grew up thinking it was. I thought that this place was magical and I loved it when I was
Mm-hmm.
younger. I really thought that I could, like, I thought that we really did accept diversity. I thought that America was really like no other country, and it turns out that it is, but not in the reasons I thought it was for. Um,
Mm.
we're really deceived, and we are taken advantage of as Americans, and we are told that we need to work ourselves to death, quite literally, in order to serve this country. Like, no, I don't want to be deceived and then die. Like, that's not how I want to live my life. That's not like a country that I'm proud of. Like, it is actually really, really depressing that so many people have this image that, like, I do think that we could be great, quote unquote, like how Trump said, make America great again. I think that there's potential to make us great, but I think that with the current government and system and this, like, deception that we have, how could we ever expect to be great within even the next, like, century? It's going to take a lot of de-radicalization in this country to be great.
Dang. That's the truth right there. Because as I was saying on the last episode with the resistance is beautiful, I grew up thinking and seeing and still believing that the potential of America being diverse, being great, being a beacon of, like, hope and justice and fairness, yet that all seems bought out by foreign entities and greedy pockets. And because, like, all the money we get sucked out going over to the vampire of the isn't real, um those helping him get a cut of all that money.
But when your company throws a corporate, like, pizza party, it's worth it. Like, that makes up for it.
Oh yeah, that one time.
Or that,
Wow.
like, dinner, at, like, the buffet where the company is like, we're going to take y'all to dinner at a buffet and give you a gift card with like $100 in it. You are supposed to then be like, oh my God, I work for the best company in the world. And people will post that shit. They will post, like, their little gift card of, like, they
Dang.
gave me $100. Like that is literal, like, it's not even a penny to them. Like, these companies could afford to give you 100 times that, but they choose not to because you are just quite literally like a chess piece to them. If you move or if you get thrown out, you are replaced within a second. They don't give a damn about you. They will send you constant emails that say, wow, you're doing a good job, or, like, you got to meet this quota so that you can get this. They don't give a shit about you. They want you to overwork. They overwork you, and they put you on. It's actually really sad that they make people feel like they are getting somewhere or doing something only to be benefited themselves. So like people really need to wake up to that. And if you have like a doubt in your mind of like, am I, I'm being overworked, like I work 40 hours a week. I was late this one time and I got written up because the third quarter wasn't done and I was late, before twice. And I explained to my boss that I'd been on time every other day. I stayed until 9 p.m. that other night and I didn't have to, but because it's corporate policy, she had to write me up. Like, put it together. When it comes to them, you need to walk in a straight line. But when you bust your back for them, they will throw you a pizza party and you need to worship the ground that they walk on. It's not normal.
That was like what my work has been doing. And it's gotten to the point where they even canceled the whole party altogether.
It's not normal. But they also know, like, they know that you need that job. They know that the economy sucks ass. They know that you have rent. They know you have a car payment. They know that you have, so in the back of their mind, they're like, maybe you are the best, because there are people who are wonderful workers who will bust their back quite literally for this company, and the company will most likely, more than not show that employee how much they need them more than that employee, like, needs that company. But it's just like Israel, they want to have the upper hand and say like, no, you need us, like we're the best for you. So the second they feel like they're losing you, pizza party, $100 bonus. Let me, like we're gonna do a shout out for you. Like we're gonna tell everybody like you should really be like Emily, because Emily like bust her ass to be here. Like Emily would literally die on the job, just like may God rest her soul, Angie busted her ass for that company and died quite literally on the job. Like I'm not dying on the job. This country isn't worth me dying on the job. Like I'm being deceived too. Like if I were proud of this country, it would be worth dying on the job. But like we are being deceived too. We are being taken advantage of. We are being put in a financial crisis where so many people are in debt. Like I can't tell you how many patients walk in that I'm like, I'll be cleaning their teeth or just charting for them, and people are so fucking in debt that they will like diarrhea mouth to you that they're in debt. They'll say like, yeah, like I'm barely making my mortgage payment, or I'm barely doing this. And that's where the conversations open up, of me telling them like, damn, that really fucking sucks. Do you know that we send all of our tax dollars to Israel, and that they get free housing, free education, they get free stimulus checks from us every month. They get it's just, and on top of all of that, they are genociding another population of people because they believe that they deserve their land, their life, their ancestry, their everything. Like we are quite literally funding monsters, terroristic psychopaths, all the while we're dying in our own country and suffering. Like if people would really wake up to the bigger picture and realize that this is a disgusting cycle that is just, it's made us dead inside. Like people, if you really want to live, like if you genuinely think that life is worth living for, and that you want to like do something meaningful, or like you're sick of like this on repeat life that seems like it's going nowhere, like ask yourself why you feel like you're in that place in the first place, and what you can do to actually change it. And it's not just like changing your gym routine, or like eating clean and starting to like meal prep. Like it's bigger than that. This world, this life is temporary, and if you are consistently depressed and you don't know why, it's not because you're not eating enough protein.
Yeah, we're being drained, we're being abused, and we're being promoted and taught to like it from like news sources and some churches and whatever.
By Israel itself. If you're a Christian and you go back to Israel, you're going to get spit on, by the way. And they think that Jesus is burning in hell instead of being in heaven. Muslims, we believe that he is in heaven, but
They do.
The Zionist Israelis believe that he is burning in hell. So it's just, people don't know enough because they're afraid. Stop being like, ask questions. Don't be afraid to offend other people. Like they don't care to offend you. They don't care to disrespect you. They don't care to ask questions and also make statements that are false. So we need to really get past this barrier of like I feel like for so long I was so afraid of like saying like Jews do this, or like there are Jews that just this is written in their Talmud. And I would walk on stuff, and that's not to say, again, I hate that I have to even make this little generalization of saying I'm not talking about all Jews, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. But like I'm done like sugarcoating shit. Like I'm not gonna walk on eggshells, because like they never walk on eggshells for us. Nobody gives a damn when they're talking about the minority or the brown people, whoever they may be, whether you're black or Mexican or Arab or whatever the fuck it is other than white and Jewish. Like I'm done feeling like I need to walk on eggshells for them when they literally will step on our backs and not think twice about it.
Mm.
It's a whole
That's
bar right there.
that is that's again. I'm like, this is truth. Just like, oh man. Ugh. What do we do next? We keep doing our stuff. We keep anything more we can do. I'm trying to figure out. Like from my point of like making content, keeping the conversation going. I want to take it to the next level, and having people like you on is huge because you give people avenues and hope. And you know, like I had a Gigi on a while ago. She had links of people could volunteer and go to Gaza and help and volunteer. So there's programs like that. But
What do we
I'm
do next?
yeah. Or
I and again, like kind of like to wrap this up. Like so now that we
yeah, yeah,
have all of
yeah.
this information, like what do we do?
And
I'm
I
gonna
have one
be
more thing for you.
I'm gonna be the person that says, of course we should use our voices, and of course, like we should avoid violence at all costs. But I will say that this is the time for violence. Yes, I'm not saying that you're calling for it. I'm not necessarily calling for violence in the sense of that people need to die, but I think that people really need to get out there and stop being afraid of being penalized for things that you are entitled to. We are entitled to free speech. We are entitled to demand that our tax dollars don't fund genocide. We are entitled to demand that our government actually serves us as people and what we want and need, and to not deceive us. So
Hmm.
be loud about it, be unapologetic about it, be unafraid to ask these questions and to make these demands. They rely on our fear. They rely on our silence. They rely on our ignorance. They rely on the fact that they have controlled us for so many years. And for the first time, quite literally in history, a lot people they're so it's easy for them to take us out because we are like little ants to them. So it's easy for them to shoot us when we're alone and for the rest of the herd to not see. But when we are together, they just can't do it. We outnumber them. And I mean that to everybody, not just solely to Muslims or Christians or this or that. Like us as a people who are not the elites, we outnumber them. And they are so fucking afraid of that because it is slowly getting to them where they're like, damn, some of these ants are smart. Like they're too smart. And they
Mm.
just can't take all of us out. They can't do it. So the more of us that join hands together and really really like understand that this is a bigger purpose, like this is bigger than me and you, this is bigger than black and white, this is bigger than everything that they're trying to tell us that it is. When all of us, instead of like pointing fingers at each other, we all turn collectively and point our fingers at them, we'll get somewhere.
Hell yeah. Dang. That's Do you have okay, this is towards the end because we'll talk more, but we could always talk about that later.
Oh no, I'm gonna
But
have to go in a second. They've
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
banging on my door. I don't even know if you've heard it.
Yeah, no, I didn't
I'm
hear that
trying to
one.
like maintain composure. I'm
All
about to go
right.
yell at them.
I want to give you the floor one last time. I want you to as we're ending this, I want people to follow you, follow the link below, and all the information do check out. I want people to support you. You do amazing work. I would like you to tell anything on your heart and mind to those who are new to listening, who have yet to know what's going on or know what's going on and have yet to speak on it. I would like to give you the floor to talk to them freely, if you like, forever long or short.
Oh, it's like right now?
Yeah, sure.
My bad, sorry.
It's all good.
It was awesome. No, it was wonderful talking to you today. I had a great time. Believe it or not, I'm a very awkward person who doesn't know how to do public speaking that much. So I think the best way to hear me and understand me is to follow me if you want to. My little tag name is right there. It's Sherean Ash. Um, and just understand that we're better than this. We're better than staying silent about this. We're better than just going along with what we're told to do in any aspect of anything. Like we're so much more capable. And that's why when people like the resistance in Palestine or people anywhere do like rise against their government, our government tells us that those are barbarians. They tell you that like these are it's the foreign people, it's the brown people. Look at them like, acting brown in these streets. It's because they don't fear the retaliation of what the elites have thrown on them. We need to get to that place where we cannot be controlled. We can't be told what to do. We can't be fed garbage, knowing that it's garbage, but taking it in only because we're afraid of the repercussions. And that means that, like, a lot of us, like, it's such a big movement to where, like, not everything's going to be roses and butterflies when when it's said and done. Like, a lot of people will get hurt. A lot of people will lose a lot. A lot of people will, um, be put in hardships, but if we look at the bigger picture, like, is this how you want your kids to live? Is this how you are you okay with this continuing on until this world is no more? And that's all. I mean, if yes, then I am so sorry for you. Like your soul has just it's way beyond like savable. But if no, then really, really like wake up and do something and don't be afraid of like being the one outcast in your community. There's so many people who you could reach out to who would be like who would stand with you in solidarity. And that's my advice.
Hey, thank you so much for being on here, sister. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for watching replay. Like and subscribe for all that, but definitely follow and support her. Follow more voices. Educate yourself. Free Palestine and much love. God bless. I'll see you next time.